Hello, good evening. How are you doing today? Everywhere you're watching me from, I say good day to you, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever or whenever time you're watching me, okay? How have you been? The last time we talked about the how pancreas produces insulin and what the function of insulin is in our body. So today I want to continue in that series and talk about what happens to the excess glucose in our bodies. The last time we saw that if we eat some certain quantity of carbohydrate, we can have excess glucose, which insulin will not be able to take care of. So today I want to continue in that series and let's see what happens to the excess glucose in our body. If insulin is unable to ask the cells in our bodies to suck up the to suck up the glucose in the bloodstreams, what happens to them? Do they just lie there in the bloodstream? Where do they go to? And that's what I want to talk about today. So if that resonates with you, please subscribe and let's talk about healthy living together. Let's talk about how we can maintain our lives in good health, how to be medication independent, how to just live healthy. Okay, so if that's what you want to hear, if that's part of the things that can benefit you or your loved ones, please subscribe to this channel, okay? And then let's grow the channel together. The more likes we have, the more subscription we have, the more YouTube we show this video to other people, and the more people will be able to benefit. Okay, so today, what happens to the excess glucose in our bodies? What happens to it? First thing, when we have excess glucose in our bodies, they don't just sit there in the bloodstream. They don't sit in the bloodstream. They attach themselves to other parts of our bodies and cause problems. For example, someone that has too much glucose in the bloodstream, some of that glucose will attach to the eye, yes, and cause diabetic eye. When that happens, the retina is affected by the excess glucose in the body. And then if there is no treatment, the retina will be damaged and it can cause blindness. So there is need for everyone, especially when you are above the age of 40, to check our blood glucose regularly and make sure that it is under the range or it is within the range. Okay, it's not good for our blood glucose to go too low or go too high. So it is highly essential that we maintain a balance, just stay within the range. That's how we can live a healthy life. Okay, so what happens to the glucose in the bloodstream? Number one, some of those glucose will go to the eye, attack the eye and cause diabetic eye. They attack the retina, and as time goes on, the muscles of the retina will weaken and eventually it will cause blindness. So that's one of it. Another one is that excess glucose in the body, it is dangerous because it can increase the chance of infection. How does it do that? By exposing the body to infection, number one. How does it achieve that? By weakening the immune system. Once the immune system is weakened, then the cells of the bodies are exposed. It's like if a food is placed on the table and the food is covered, even if there are thousands of flies around, none of the flies can get into the food to cause any infection. Do you get it? So, but if the food is not covered and there are flies going around, then the flies can perch on the food and cause problems. So that's exactly what happens to our body. When we have excess glucose in our body, it exposes our body to a lot of infections by weakening the immune system. What happens to a healthy person, and the person does not even know? If someone that has high level of glucose, if that thing happens to that person, it will cause a lot of problem because the body will not be able to react as it's supposed to the infection. Take for example, if someone that is not diabetic is sick, the rate of recovery of that person will be different from the rate of recovery of the person that is diabetic. Do you get it? So excess glucose in the body will expose the body to a lot of infection. How does it do that? By weakening the immune system. Nobody wants excess sugar in the body. Another thing that glucose in the body can cause is the excess glucose in the body will attach itself to the limbs, especially fingers, toes, legs, hands. And then the excess sugar will not allow, if there is wound in any part of the limbs, if there is excess glucose in the body, the wounds are not going to heal on time.